Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Critical Cards Gaming, and today we're going to be doing a deck profile. It's going to be my January 2025 Branded Despia. I did try to upload a part earlier, but it was way too long. It was about 26 minutes. So I'm just going to do a speed run. Yeah, so without further ado, let's get into it. So first off, you're going to run 3 Fallen Malbaz, which is your main card that you need in the deck. It's definitely a 3 of. It's for your fusion materials. You can also make Dragoon off of this as well. So, and then you have 3 Eluber. When this is summoned, you can search a branded spell or trap from your deck, basically. Then you got 3 Albion the Shrouded Dragon. So this card's in your hand. You can throw a Fall of Malbaz from your deck or hand to your graveyard, and you can activate the effect. And if it's sent from your hand, you can, special summon this card, and if from the deck, you can place it underneath and draw one, which is really good to get into your plays. Next up, we have 2 Blazing Cartesia. It's also good because it's fusion material for your extra deck, and if you control Albaz or it's in your graveyard, you can special summon this from your hand, and during your main phase, you can fusion summon, which I think is pretty cool. So, and then we have 1 Quim. You need to run 2 of these in the deck. Excuse my stuttering, but I was only able to get 1. So, if it's normal or special summoned, you can send a Fallen Albaz or 1 card that mentions it from your deck to the graveyard. And if a card leaves the field or leaves the extra deck, except from the damage step, you can target 1 Fallen Albaz or 1 monster in your graveyard, except this card, and special summon it, which I think is great. And then I have, these are going to be my hand traps. I'm going to try to show this in frame here. 3 Ash Blossoms, definitely 3 of. You got Ghost Spell, Ghost Ogre, Effect Veiler, and then you got Nibiru. Nibiru is always good to have. And then D Crow, which banishes from the graveyard, or banishes one of your opponents, or 1 card, I should say, in your opponent's graveyard, banish it. So it's a really good card. I should probably run another one of these, but I don't have a lot of room in the deck. I have 57, so I need 3 more, but I gotta fine tune it a little more. Then this is my Bestial Engine here. I unfortunately couldn't get any of the other cards for it, so this is all I have for right now. It's also a dragon effect, so sorry I'm not going into a deep explanation. I don't want these videos to be too long, because then they won't upload. So, and if I said that already, I apologize. I try not to say the same thing twice, but sometimes I do. Then you got your Despian package, which, that's pretty much what you're going to run. This is a pretty good card. This is for fusion material, so this has a good graveyard effect, and that can be used as fusion as well. And then you have Sword Soul, which is fusion material. It's a light. Then you got Kit, which can search your branded fusion from your deck, graveyard, or banished, which that's actually pretty great if it doesn't get negated, of course. Then here's your negate. If you control a fusion monster, you can discard this to the graveyard and negate the effect. So and then this is going to be the new Puppet Lock. So 4 in this deck. Gimmick Puppet Nightmare was the main card, but now since it's banned, this is. So once it's summoned to your opponent's field, they can only summon DD. So I think it's a good replacement. I have yet to use it, but I'll let you guys know how it goes when I do. And you're going to run 3 fusion deployments. We're on to the spells now. So you can reveal one fusion monster and then special summon from your hand or deck one of the fusion materials listed, which is good. So that's really good. And then you got Book of Eclipse, 3 of these. It's a must-have. And then it changes all monsters on the field to face-down defense position. So definitely good at stopping your opponent. And you got Nadir Servant, which is sending a monster from your extra deck to the graveyard. Then you can add one Dogmatica monster, Fallen of Albaz, which the card you're going to be sending is this, basically. And then for the rest of the turn, you can't summon from the extra deck, so this will be like a last card to use. And you got Branded and High Spirits. This is a new one for me, so I'm not very good with it. But you can reveal a monster in your hand and send a fusion monster from your extra deck to the graveyard with the same type. And then discard the revealed monster and then add one Fallen of Albaz that mentions it from your deck to your hand. So definitely a good 3 of in the deck. You got 2 Polymerization, which is a discard 1 card to fusion summon from your extra deck using monsters from either field. So you can take one of your opponent's monsters, one of their fusion monsters, or Link or whatever, which I think is pretty good to get rid of one of those. And then on to, I didn't mean to say on to, I apologize. I have 2 Despia Theater the Branded. These are extra cards, these are optionals. Or these are just optional cards. This basically would be with the Despia package. Basically, during your main phase, you can fusion summon 1 level or 8 higher fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion material. So I mostly use these for my Despia monsters, pretty much. And then you got your 1-ofs, Branded in White, Branded Opening, Branded Fusion, Branded in Red, Branded Loss. That's a really good card. It's a continuous spell, as well as Branded Regain. This card, and this card are the ones you want to have. These are pretty good as well, I will say. And then you have Called by the Grave. This is basically to negate Ash Blossom, which is a hand trap. I think it's definitely a must-have. You got Spellbound and Gold Sarcophagus. This one's really good because all monsters your opponent currently controls cannot be attributed or used to summon from the extra deck, which can lock them out of place. And Gold Sarcophagus, you send Tri-Brigade. As I was saying, since that's a negate, and then you can add it back to your hand during your second standby, so you're automatically going to get that negate back. And now onto the traps, guys. I have 5 of them. So I have Dimensional Barrier, Fusion Duplication, Branded Banishment, and Retribution. This is really good for negating your opponent's effect. This is good for fusion summoning. This one mimics by banishing a fusion card. This mimics the effects of it. This stops your opponent from special summoning monsters of your declared type, and this negates monster's effect, which I think is pretty good. You need to run 2 more infinite permanences, but if you don't have room, you can run 1, of course. So that'll round up the main deck. Now we're on to the extra deck. Soap, you want to run 2 Albion the Branded Dragon, 1 to summon and 1 to send. When it's summoned, you can summon monsters from your extra deck, obviously by hand or field. So, and then you got Mirror Jade, which can nuke your opponent's field, and it's got 3,000 attack. It requires Fallen of Albaz and 1 fusion or synchro monster. You got Lubellion, which if it's fusion summon, you can discard and fusion summon by shuffling cards in your hand, field, or banished zone, which is really good. That's currently my favorite card to fusion summon. You got Albion, which is how you're gonna summon DD Vice King Requiem to your field, your opponent's field. So, and then you got Titaniclad, and these guys are really good as well. This gains attack equal to the original combined original levels of the monsters for its fusion materials. So you can get an extra 1,000 attack out of it, which is really nice. And this one can't be destroyed by battle. And if this was sent to the graveyard, you can summon your negate. So that's definitely one to summon. And then this is going to be your Despia package here. This one's really good because it inflicts piercing damage. If it's if this card destroys an opponent's monster battle, you can inflict damage equal to that monster's attack. This one, you have to your opponent has to pay life points to activate its effect, and then this one changes all monsters to 0. So that's really good 3-card combo right there for the Despia package. And then you got the Predaplant. I'm not really good with this card. I haven't really fusion summoned it during a duel. And then Ryan Rum is a once per turn negate, so that's definitely good to have. And you got Guardian Chimera, which can which you can draw 3 cards and then destroy 3 cards your opponent controls, which is really good for getting rid of their back row or their monsters, and you get additional plays. Then Grangual, you can send your DD King to the graveyard. So then Grua, I'm not really familiar with, but it any battle damage your opponent takes from this card is doubled, and if it's sent to the graveyard, you can draw 1 card. So pretty good effect of it. So that'll be it for my deck profile, guys. I thank you for sticking around, and feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and that'll be all for now.